Hello, fourth grade math students. It is Miss Hughes, and I'm back for the one and only video for this week. If you don't have scratch paper or your math journal to write down some things in, you are going to need to get that now. Okay. So today, what we're going to be doing is looking at, let me make sure I get this adjusted. We're going to be looking at converting measurements with word problems, okay? So that's what you're going to be working on this week. And this is the video that you can refer back to throughout the week if you need some help. So I have some word problems here that I want to work through with you. And so the first one says, Fiona ran 6 laps around the track. Each lap was 500 meters. How many kilometers did Fiona run? So if you notice in our problem, we have a measurement of 500 meters, and we need to know how many kilometers that she's going to run. So we're going to have to convert our meters to kilometers. So I'm going to start by writing my favorite acronym. King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. And my unit is meters, okay? So I need to figure out how many kilometers are in a meter, okay? So if I look at my acronym, I know that 1 kilometer, if I have one here, remember we're going to move from a larger unit to a smaller unit, so we're going to multiply. So I'm going to figure out what I need to multiply by, okay? 1 kilometer times something equals my meters. So I'm going to move times 10 times 100 times 1,000. So 1 kilometer is equivalent to 1,000 meters, okay? So now that I understand that conversion, I need to figure out how many meters she ran. So 6 laps and each one is 500 meters. So I have 500 meters times 6 laps, okay? So that is going to equal 3,000 meters, okay? Well, if I go back to this, 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters, then I need to figure out how many kilometers equals 3,000 meters. Well, if 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters, I'm going to divide 3,000 divided by 1,000. Now, this should be easy math for us. 1,000 times what will equal 3,000? 3. So, Fiona runs 3 kilometers. Okay? Did you see how I did that? All right. So go ahead and check your work through that problem, and let's move on to the next one. Okay? All right. This time we're using different units of measurement. Remember, your word problems can vary between the metric units, which is what this is, and customary units, which is what yards and feet are. I have my key here. 1 yard equals 3 feet, okay? So I already know that 1 yard is equivalent to 3 feet. Well, in my word problem, Martin bought 4 yards of painter's tape. He has 2 feet of tape left. How many feet of painter's tape did Martin use? Well, if 1 yard equals 3 feet, I need to figure out how many feet 4 yards equals. So this is what I'm going to be multiplying by. 4 times 3 equals 12. So 4 yards is equivalent to 12 feet. Well, I got to figure out how much he used. And the problem tells me he has 2 feet left over. Okay? So I'm going to take the 12 feet and I'm going to subtract the 2 feet out of that. All right? Because I know that's what he has left. And that's going to equal 10 feet. So Martin used 10 feet of painter's tape. All right? So you're going to be seeing problems like this in the work that you do this week. Let's continue and try another one together. Remember, you should be working these out with me. All right, Anna is knitting a scarf. She wants it to be 2 meters long. If she knits 10 centimeters each day, how long will it take her to knit the scarf? Well, let's identify our measurements. We have 2 meters, 10 centimeters. So we're going back to the metric system, all right? So I'm going to write my acronym. King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. And my unit is meters, okay? So I have to figure out, if she wants it to be 2 meters long, I have to figure out how many days it's going to take her to knit if she only knits 10 centimeters each day. So I have to figure out, well, 1 meter is equivalent to how many centimeters? Here I am at meters, and I have to get to centimeters. So I'm going to move times 10 times 100. So 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeters, okay? So if 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeters, then 2 meters is equivalent to 200 centimeters. But she only knits 10 centimeters each day. So I'm going to have to take this because I need it to equal 2 meters, which is 200 centimeters. So 200 divided by 10. Well, what can I multiply 10 by to get to 200? If I do 10 times 2, that's 20. But 10 times 20 is 200. So that means she's going to need this many days if she knits 10 centimeters each day to equal 200 centimeters, which is equivalent to 2 meters. So Anna will need 20 days to knit a 200 centimeter or 2 meter scarf. You see that? Okay, we have 2 more left to do. So I want you to get your paper, and I want you to start with your problems 4 and 5. Read your problems and note what are the measurements you're working with, and is it customary or is it metric? So in this first problem, number 4, what measurements are we working with? Yards and feet. So we're back to the customary units of measurement. And I have a key right here that says 1 yard equals 3 feet. So what I need to figure out first is how many feet 16 yards equals. Okay? So this tells me what I'm going to multiply by. So 16 times 3, this is yards, this is feet, okay? 6 times 3 is 18, carry my 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So 16 yards is equivalent to 48 feet. Well, now I know how many feet make up yards. So this is kind of like saying Jeremy needs 48 feet of fencing. They come in 8-foot panels. So what operation am I going to use to figure out how many panels Jeremy needs? That's right. I'm going to divide. Okay. So 8 times what will give me 48? Well, I know 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 6 is 48. So this is how many panels he's going to need. Jeremy is going to need 6 8-foot panels for his fencing. You see how I write my answer in a sentence? You should be doing that too, okay, when you're working on your own. All right, here's our last problem. Read it. Determine what measurements you're working with. This time working with pounds and ounces. Well, in my key right here, I know 1 pound is equivalent to 16 ounces. So I got to figure out 6 pounds is equivalent to how many ounces. This tells me what I'm going to multiply by. This is my ounces. This is my pounds. Okay, so I'm going to convert my pounds to ounces. So 6 times 6, 36. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. So 6 pounds is equivalent to 96 ounces. Well, he has a bag of grapes that already weighs 47 ounces. So how many more ounces does he need? So I'm going to take 96. How many more ounces does he need? How many more? That tells me what operation. That tells me subtraction. So I'm going to subtract the ounces he already has. I have to borrow. So 16 take away 7 is 9. And 8 take away 4 is, 8 take away 4 is 4. So he needs 49 more ounces. Selena needs 49 ounces more of grapes to equal 6 pounds. Okay? So this is an opportunity for us to work through some problems together, and you are going to be working through word problems like this to convert measurements this week. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, just take it one step at a time, the steps that I told you. Identify what measurements you're working with. Is it customary? Is it metric? And then what other information do you need in order to convert those measurements? Okay. We're going to be looking at how you do on the assignments. So it's really, really important that you take your time, you work out each problem on some scrap paper, and you do your very best to try to determine the correct answer. Don't just log in and type any old answer in, because we are looking at how you are doing with these problems. All right, guys, have a great week.